So, I mean, as you said, I was with you, early on in the early days of CannaTech and ICANN. So I really saw, I saw how things were emerging around the world. So 3 years ago, there was a big move in the UK where the MHRA, the Ministry of Health, issued a statement where they recognised the medicinal value of CBD. Now, this was already a fledgling market, but this really opened it up, or opened the eyes of the country to the potential. What I saw then was a very simple opportunity that, whilst in Israel and many other countries, entrepreneurs are busy developing lots of very, very cool IP, the future commercialization, that for me, being a marketing person through and through, that I saw that there was an opportunity to make money today. And if you take THC out the equation and you just go for a general health and wellness, you remove all health claims and you just have this nutraceutical or cannaceutical product, then we can make money today. And that's really where CiiTECH was founded, to bring the best of Israeli science to the market with the best of consumer healthcare in the UK. And that's why we founded CiiTECH 3 years ago, and we launched our flagship product. Is this slide going to move for me? There we go. We launched our flagship product, Provocan, 3 years ago, and just recently we launched a sports brand, Impact, and a women's lifestyle brand in Hug. But Provocan is really what it was all about, to create a medical cannabis positioned wellness product. We all know that the CBD industry is full of sharks and charlatans and broken promises on labeling and content, and a lot of bad product out there. The industry's got a lot of bad press, and there's a lack of trust. So what we know is that in the wellness world, there's no doctors and there's often no pharmacists to recommend a product for an indication. So it really comes down to consumer market. And the consumer market, it really, the target always from a marketing perspective is to build trust in a brand. So we focus heavily on our Israel connections. We work with a number of institutions. We work with the Israeli Medical Cannabis Nurses Association in Israel. We work with the British Cannabis Clinicians Society, it's a bit of a mouthful, in the UK. But we really see ourselves now as in the UK, certainly a leading consumer brands company. We are building a house of brands, beginning with Provocan, which is, if not the leading, it's one of the leading online CBD brands. Most of our sales are online, which is great for us. It means that we now own, control, and understand over 50,000 customers. We know what they use it for, how often they use it. And best of all, we know how often and why they repeat purchase. Right now, we enjoy over 50% repeat purchase. So what happened, very interesting for us, was that 3 years ago when we began this, we invested in 2 clinical studies at the Hebrew University. One of them was actually with Professor Meshulam to investigate CBD for asthma. And the second was with Dr. Yossi Tam to investigate actually 2 cannabinoids in combination for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. With that one, we got most amazing results, really good results. We discovered or uncovered incredible technology that we believe could be a breakthrough treatment for weight loss in the future. So on the basis of that science, we've now recently formed a joint venture with the Hebrew University, with Yisum, the tech transfer arm. We've created a company called CiiTECH Labs, and this really sets out to investigate and commercialize metabolism-based indication cannabinoid formulations. Now our mission is to create the most respected and trusted cannabis products. We know that when it's the consumer's choice, it's their choice to what brand they buy, and that comes down to everything from the color of packaging, the messaging, and the story behind. And we've worked very hard to build a very strong digital footprint, so that when consumers are out searching for which product to buy, by the time they come to our websites, they are pretty much already ready to buy. So we've built this portfolio of products and of brands. We're looking to build a distribution network, multi-platform, multi-country, so that we can take any brand, not just our brands, but other brands from Israel to the world. Actually, we are working with a very interesting company called Cannabis, who have a hangover formulation that we're taking to market with them. Now, way back 3 years ago, we looked at the market and we looked at what was going on, and we understood that certainly when regulation is concerned, then that's one of the single biggest obstacles, as we all know, for the medical cannabis, even the recreational world of cannabis. But today, we really do see that CBD is the growth engine. We're building our market share, and we're quite confident that as and when THC is available, we can just add it into our ranges, into our brands, and enjoy. So we are heavily focused on regulation. That's why we launched into the UK. The UK are certainly perceived globally as having one of the highest or most conservative healthcare systems and perceptions. I think in the current COVID crisis, I think we're seeing that in the approach that the British are taking to this pandemic. All our products are, as a focus, totally compliant, 100% compliant from EU, from British law. The recent novel food entry into novel food catalogues, so all of our products are now working towards full novel food compliance. Even our tinctures.
Explain what novel food is?
Novel food is a bane of my life. Novel food, so it's a catalogue, it's a product catalogue or a compounds catalogue created by the Europeans, by the European Food Standard Authority. And it was created in 1997. And what it said was that any compounds that you plan to bring to market as a food, if it was not in the public domain prior to the catalogue in 1997, then you simply need to prove it's safe to consume. They make an assumption that anything that was existing before must be safe. You can argue the right or wrongs of that, but the process is if it's a new compound, a new food product, you must prove safety. And it can take a year, 2 years, up to 2 years to complete the product dossier. And it's everything from full transparency, where the product was grown, the strains, the processes, through to the toxicity, the safety. You need to do some small animal studies to prove it's safe. And then you get this approval from the FSA to market the product. It's caused a big scandal across Europe when they added CBD almost actually just over 12 months ago. But this is the regulators, and we have to work within their guidelines. So what they basically said was that effectively anything that comes from hemp is novel, and therefore anything that you wish to consume from hemp, you must prove it's safe. It has no correlation to indications. This is nothing, it's not a medical, it's simply a food safety compliance. So all of our contract manufacturers, we've ensured that all of our contract manufacturers are compliant, and that the raw materials they use for our products are in that process of securing a novel food compliance certificate.
So let's jump into your product showcase. You have 3 brands, Provocan, Hug, and Impact. Tell us a little bit about the market that you're going after with each of these brands.
Sure. So we take a view, and you'll often hear me mention that we are a medical cannabis company. We're not, we're a consumer brands company, but what we know is that there's no fun, there's no recreational aspect of CBD. Someone takes CBD, they're taking it for their health. And now you've got different degrees of using it for health. You've got some people that will use it for, as it says in the box, simply general health and wellness, like vitamins and minerals. But you also have people that are using it to effectively attempt to treat serious health conditions. No different to medical cannabis. And actually the uses that our customers, we did our first large-scale survey 2 months ago. So we really have great snapshots of what our customers are using it for. And it's all the same indications that patients are prescribed cannabis for all over the world. I will say that probably about 30% are anxiety, insomnia related. But we have a number of customers that use our products for chronic pain, including fibromyalgia, and a number of neurological conditions. We have arthritis sufferers. They use balms to massage in. So Provocan was positioned and designed, and the brand concept was that it must look like something your doctor's going to prescribe. or something your pharmacist will dispense to you. So you will never see a cannabis leaf on any of our products. As far as possible, you will never see any of our products appear like they should be, a lifestyle type product. It's meant to be medicinal. So Provocans are kind of catch-all medical cannabis brands. And then we've broken down into the niche markets, and we began with Impact. Impact is a sports CBD brand. And that came about, we were actually reached out to by Ben Franks, who's a two-time World Cup winner, rugby World Cup winner with New Zealand, the All Blacks. And he reached out to us because he'd been using Provocan for a number of years and was blown away by it. And wanted to get involved. You know, rugby is one of those sports very much like American football, which is plagued by injury and pain and concussion and unfortunately opioid and abuse, medication abuse. So a lot of these guys, including Ben, are looking for something to give back to the sport when he retires. Lots of conversations ended up with us coming to the best opportunity, which is to create a joint venture together, create a brand together. He brought with him one of his close friends, James Haskell, who's the former England rugby captain. And between them, they've been our brand ambassador for us to launch this really, really exciting brand. And Hug is our women's, we call it CBD self-care. We don't use the word cosmetics so much, just because the regulatory aspects that come into that kind of language, but it's a CBD self-care. So we have everything from tincture, which is the core product. Again, people do use this as a medicine, but we've surrounded that with complementary products like CBD coffee, CBD tea. We have CBD face masks and cuticle oil creams, really everything that you need for self-care. And we have other brands that are rolling out. We've worked together with some partners in Europe to launch a pet care brand, which we believe will be coming to the American market first later in the year. It's very exciting times for the CBD market. Regulation is coming, it's tight. But it's more about normalization. And actually, I think it was on one of your webinars previously, I think it was Bob Hoban talked about CBD, that we should not look at it or consider it as an industry. CBD is just a product range. It's no different to, really, I mean, my words, no different to echinacea, ginseng, aloe vera. You see it on the same shelf, in the same stores, has potentially similar benefits. And the important factor is, you're making consumer choice. You're not being prescribed these compounds by a doctor. So really, it's the product quality and the validation that any company can bring to their brand that really, I believe, going to set them apart from the competition in what has become, and is going to continue to become, a really highly competitive, highly saturated market.
For viewers of the Israel 360 Deep Dive, what are you looking for in terms of partners, distributors, investors? How can the community help you?
Sure thing. Well, we're obviously always happy to talk investments. We've had a number of conversations, and these are always interesting. But we're not. This isn't part of our model. We're one of these companies. We're fortunate. We're revenue generating. We're profitable. We've grown organically. What we are looking for, and how we've built the business so far, is with strong partnerships. We're focused right now on the UK. We've built our brand equity, and we're now looking to move overseas. We were with CannaTech in South Africa, and we have some incredible partners over there. But we're looking for partners on the international stage. We've got brands. What we're good at, what CiiTECH is amazing at, is building brands that people want to buy. Trustworthy, credible brands. And we know that all over the world, there's consumers with money to spend on quality CBD products. So anybody in the community that has distribution, that has wholesale connections, that can open us up to anything, into any specific territory around Europe, Asia, North America, South America, this is what we're looking for business growth.
Fantastic. Well, you can learn more on the interactive map. Thank you, Clifton, for joining us, and you're here for any questions live in the chat.